Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matt with RTCG. I actually just did a short video based off of today's topic, and I'm really excited about it because I think this is hugely important. What we're going to talk about today and what I kind of see like forecasted for the future of the market for Pokemon, I think is huge. I want to document it because I could be totally right here and it'd be crazy, and then I could be totally wrong, and you guys can laugh at me in the comments. It's totally fine. Let's all share our opinions though. Do you think that the Pokemon hobby is going to continue to boom into the 30th anniversary? Do you think we're going to see a cool off stage? Is the market going to crash? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. If you guys really enjoy my content and want to help support me grow, I really appreciate all of the likes, all the comments and subscriptions. If you feel it really crazy, you can also share. Let's dive right into it. Here's what I think. We are close to a tipping point in the hobby right now. And I think this is I can't even talk. I think we're really close to a tipping point. I think that the way Pokemon is handling reprints right now is very strategic. And we're going to look at one product in particular, which is the, I almost said Bulbasaur. It's the Venusaur and Blastoise box, exclusive for everyone's favorite local card store, GameStop. At least they cosplay to be one, right? So this product is so interesting to me because we've seen Pokemon move towards this like large EX bulky box format for reprints. I've seen a lot of people cover it on YouTube, but this one in particular has caught my eye because I think there's something really significant going on here. So let's go ahead and talk through it all. I can't wait to see what you guys think in the comments below, but this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the tipping point for the hobby. Now, I don't think the hobby is going to crash. I'm going to come out, burst everybody's bubble. I don't think we're going to see all products go to zero. I do think that as supply reaches demand, it's going to flush out scalpers, people that are in it for quick flips, things like that. And then we might be in a potential situation where supply could match or maybe even slightly outweigh demand. And when that happens, all sorts of things can happen, okay? Maybe a lot of people dive in and start to redeploy capital and invest in different things. If we see these EX boxes, if the prices for them really plummet, for the reasons we're about to talk about, I could see a lot of rip and shippers jumping in immediately just to buy them for their packs. Either way though, I think this is really strategic from Pokemon. I think it's a net positive in a lot of ways, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see where it goes from here. So let's dive into it. Here's why I think the Venusaur and Blastoise box, it could be the beginning of a tipping point for the hobby. So we know that this box was exclusively for GameStop, and one thing that I noticed at my local card store is that they posted a kind of a printout picture outside the door letting us know when the box would release and exactly how many the store has received. One thing I noticed by surveying and seeing a couple different GameStops is that each store location received at least 100 boxes. In my experience, your mileage may vary, but this even included a more rural town with far less population than like the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I'm kind of located in Texas. So even a more rural store in Texas was receiving over 100 boxes. I think that's extremely significant, and that's a lot of product, okay? Especially if you extrapolate that across all of the nation with all the different GameStops. That's a huge, huge, huge amount of packs. Now, this product is specifically kind of geared towards Stellar Crown. All of the stamps on the promos say Stellar Crown. However, only 5 packs are Stellar Crown. The other 5 packs are Surging Sparks. This is where I think the Pokemon Company has gotten very strategic, okay? I think this product is kind of a trap, okay? I think it's a trap for scalpers. I think it's a trap for people that are just in it for the money. Here's why I'm saying that. First of all, it's got Surging Sparks in it. Surging Sparks was the set that kind of like skyrocketed all the hype. It was the rockets to the moon emojis. It was crazy. That's what really started us in this hype cycle. Now, you may not know this because Surging Sparks was several sets ago and you may kind of moved on. Like maybe you're still looking at Destined Rivals, you're looking at the upcoming mega set, you're really enjoying black and white right now, looking for those Victinis, those black-white rares. But if you look back right now at TCG Player, Surging Sparks has really dropped, okay? I remember Surging Sparks being worth $8 to $9 market price. And now if you go and look, it's worth a bit, like 20, 30 cents over six. That's like $6.20. It's worth a bit over $6, but less than $7. I think that's significant, specifically for what these boxes are retailing at GameStops. These boxes are retailing at $60, okay? $60 for 10 packs is $6 per pack. Wow, great magic, great math, great magic. It is magic when I do math correctly. Here's the deal though, okay? What's the margin? What is the margin for scalpers here, okay? What's the margin? So if a scalper buys this box for $60 and they want to make money off of it, they need to sell it for more than $60. Well, think about this. If they increase the price to $70, then they're already selling above established market price. Now, do you think a scalper is going to wait in line for 24 hours at a GameStop for a box that they're going to make potentially $10 max off of? And that's not counting any kind of gas, the time involved in selling. Will they do that? I think that they might, because there has been a 6-month time frame so far where people have developed habits. People are just blindly buying all of the product that releases and immediately trying to churn and flip that for profit wherever they can. And all of a sudden we're in a situation where the box price at GameStop actually matches market price. So the opportunity here for quick flips and things like that is far less than we think. GameStop, you know, there is a counter argument here that says that product at GameStop is not ideal for scalpers because of the limits, but I promise there's people taking advantage of the one box per person and trying to make money that way. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This is my opinion, okay? Let me know yours down in the comments. I would love to know. That's the very first reason I think this box is very interesting. The other reason, there's kind of 3 reasons here. This is why I think it's a trap. First is Surging Sparks has reduced in price. And therefore, there's not a lot of margin to make because the second set of packs in here is Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown is literally a $6 pack. So to push the market price up and try to make money off of this box in a scalping kind of scenario is highly unlikely as well, because I don't think people are going to be too keen on spending $7 for a Stellar Crown pack right now. Now, people that buy this and look to sell, maybe they're speculating that the price per pack will go up, but as we've seen, as more supply is introduced to the market, it drives prices down. It doesn't cause a surge in price, right? And then the last reason I think this is a trap, this EX idea, this box idea is a trap, is for this reason, the stamped promos. There is one thing that we all feel conditioned about right now, and that is that stamped promos go to the moon. Okay, there is a lot of this product printed, like we talked about earlier, and also these are just EX cards. Now, people may call out the surprise boxes for, not Terrestrial Festival, but Prismatic Evolutions and say, hey, look at those stamped promo cards. First of all, that's Prismatic Evolutions. It's a different product and SKU that has its own built-in kind of randomness, RNG, gambling mechanic. You know, am I going to pull the Umbreon promo, or am I going to pull just the basic Eevee promo? There's a lot of differences here. Not to mention that we're dealing with Venusaur and Blastoise, and these are like, the arts on these cards are not unique. I think they're the 151 arts. You guys have to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but the only thing different about these promos is the Stellar Crown stamp. Now, the Stellar Crown stamp is interesting to me. I guess Stellar Crown, was Stellar Crown the one with the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle in the IRs? That could be maybe why they're tying it together. But I do think that like somebody that doesn't know much about the hobby but has been dipping their toes in or full out scalping, that's just jumping in and saying like I can buy anything Pokemon, turn around and sell it tomorrow for a profit. That's not going to work here. I do not think that these stamp promos are going to have any sort of the demand that we've seen from Prismatic Evolutions, or especially not the PCETB stamp promos. So I think that this product is literally probably for some people going to be a trap. People that are hardcore leveraging for their scalping operation, things like that, people that go too ham on this product, not going to be great. So let's switch gears, talk about kind of why I really love this product for the hobby as well. So number one is I think it's a trap for people that are trying to take advantage of the hobby. I think that's a net positive for us. I think that when I talk about tipping points, we need a situation where Pokemon releases enough product or enough of the right kind of product to make it to where this whole scalping scenario falls flat, okay? Scalping is a, how do we say it? I've heard it worded so well and I'm not gonna do that great with it. It is a manufactured problem. Scalping is a problem because supply does not match demand. And so it creates an environment where people can gamify it and take advantage of it. However, when there are certain SKUs, and what I mean by that, if there's a certain product that actually is printed to demand or above demand, or if Pokemon just mass reprints all of the like most recent sets, which we haven't seen them do, but we are seeing them kind of move this way with these EX boxes. What I think that does is it allows these little moments, these little tipping point moments where the glass is almost to that tipping point. And all it's gonna take, I think, for me personally, I think it's just gonna take like 3 to 5 of these moments to really start the waterfall effect and to really flush out a lot of these people trying to take advantage. This product I think is really cool because the price, $6 per pack, is very reasonable. It's not terrible. Yes, it's higher than what we were used to before this whole crazy hype cycle started, but it's reasonable enough for people to get their hands on Surging Sparks, which is a high in-demand set, plus Stellar Crown, which is a great set. I'm not gonna lie, I love this set. I love the Bulbasaur, I love the Squirtle. If those cards are not in Stellar Crown, you guys let me know, and you guys can laugh at me, okay, in the comments, but I'm like 90% sure I know what I'm talking about. So I love the two sets. I think it's great for people, collectors just looking to rip. I also think this product is actually gonna be great for rip and shippers. I know that that might be a hot topic here. You may be watching this, you're adamantly opposed to rip and shippers, but listen, a rip and shipper is looking to make a set margin on all of the packs that they sell. And so if they buy it at $6, they're not, some people, anyways, there's gonna be people that try to take advantage of it. But for people that are selling at volume and are really running an operation, they are looking at making set margins on that. So they're not going to turn around and necessarily sell it for $9. Yes, that will happen. And yes, you can jump in the comments and be upset. That's totally fine. But for people looking to run an actual operation that they want to scale and make efficient for the long term, they're gonna charge 10% more than that, or whatever they need to do, 20% more than that to make the money they need to make. And so this is an ideal product for collectors. It's an ideal product for people that are looking to break down the product, but it's not an ideal product for the long-term investor collector. That's really important, okay? An investor, long-term collector is really interested in compact products that contain a high, kind of a very desirable product like ETBs, bundles, and booster boxes. Those 3 products are typically the go-to. ETBs are pretty bulky, but they have this, they've established themselves as a product, as a collectible. Booster bundles are an amazing value for 6 packs, very similar to the way people think about a booster box being an amazing value for 36 packs. And it's also very easy to store, okay? So I think those 3 products in particular, if you're on Pokemon Investing YouTube, you've heard that before. So I think that's important because I think there are a lot of investor type people. There's a lot of like long-term minded people out there that probably have a really good amount of money that they would love to put into more booster boxes, okay? With the box prices being so high right now, they're probably on the sidelines waiting for an opportunity to jump in. However, I don't think that that person is really, really keen on these like large, bulky EX boxes. And I'm starting to think that maybe Pokemon Company knows this, and this is all a strategic play. All a strategic play to get to that tipping point that starts to spill over, flushes out these people trying to really take advantage of what's going on, and re-establishes and stabilizes the market to where it is reasonable. Okay, I'm not a big fan or proponent of saying everything's going to crash, but I really do firmly believe that the market is not in the best spot right now. Prices are so exaggerated, they're so high. I think that Pokemon and I think the community, there's that C word, I think the community would appreciate for things to slow down a little bit to where it's more normalized, it's not as crazy. So that's kind of my thoughts. I know I was a little bit all over the place, especially at the beginning, but I do think that these EX kind of reprints, this reprint strategy from Pokemon is very interesting. These EX boxes have a very specific purpose. And I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are. Let me know down in the comments. If you totally disagree, that's totally cool. I think that that's some of my favorite comments I read are the ones that disagree with me, that have other perspectives and ideas about the hobby, about selling, about collecting. I love reading that and learning from you guys. If you agree with me, I'd love to hear that too. But yeah, I hope to see you guys for the next one. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.